The the numbers that stick out to me the most were in the warehousing side of things, and that directional shift there, it's kinda what I wanna lead off with is the warehousing side where we see prices coming down and utilization going up, which, correct me if I'm wrong, but this feels a little counterintuitive?
Well, the one thing to remember is that any number over 50 still does mean
Yeah,
expansion, right?
sure.
And so, really, what we're
Fair.
seeing is that warehousing prices are growing, but more slowly than they have been, and utilization is going up. But when you break that down into like our upstream and downstream splits, I actually do think it makes a bit more sense. We've seen a real shift of inventories downstream in the last like month, really month and a half. I mean, we started to see it really in the second half of August, which makes sense because you usually see inventory go to the retail level around now and then sort of
Mhm.
peak in October. And so one of the things I think that we're seeing is we had so much jammed in at the wholesale level for really the last 6 months. And as that starts to trickle down, what we're seeing is more utilization of warehousing overall, right? So there's more space now that we're putting stuff in. It's less concentrated. It's more sort of decentralized, and because of that, the really sticky, hard prices that we were dealing with upstream, because you think about this, a lot of wholesalers were doing like short-term leases. I mean, you think about a warehousing contract, maybe it's going to be a year to 3 years normally. But for the wholesale level, because we brought so much stuff in so early, they were kind of going on like the warehousing spot market basically to get all of this extra space that they needed early on this year. Well, that's expensive. It's usually a minimum of 3 months, and to get 3 months, you're paying probably some sort of premium. And so, what my read is on this is that 3 month short-term lease warehousing, I mean, it's like going month to month on an apartment. It's really inefficient. They kind of had to do that upstream, and now that we're having this sort of spreading out of all the inventory that's been here, it's making utilization go up because now the downstream folks are utilizing more of their warehousing space, but it's also making price growth go down upstream because now we're getting out of some of those short-term warehousing leases that we were sort of a necessary evil that we had to deal with through the summer as we were trying to avoid tariffs.